I'd like to invite Helen, Dana Miller, and Department Head Mark Balschweig to join me on stage, please. Dr. Fagan's nominator wrote this about her. Dr. Fagan has dedicated her life to the pursuit of inclusive excellence, even before we had the language to describe it. Her teaching, program direction, mentoring, coaching, and her presence on any committee or in any group that raises the level of that space to make sure everyone is included. She's kind, compassionate, non-judgmental, unabashedly courageous, and calling out the need to create more inclusive spaces so all can bring their whole selves to their work and to their communities. Her impact does not end with students. She's a strong and steady voice of advocacy for the marginalized groups on campus, in urban and rural Nebraska communities, as well as anyone who is fortunate enough to work with or learn from her. Dr. Fagan is a consummate role model for the students and is a fitting recipient for the Holling Family Faculty Inclusive Excellence in Teaching and Learning Award. I'd like to invite Dana to come and give a few remarks, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor to be able to talk a little bit about why Dr. Helen Fagan is so deserving of this award. While Dr. Matkin nominated her, I provided a letter of support, so I'm going to share a little bit from that letter with you. I promise I won't read the whole thing. To give you a little bit of context, I've known Helen since 2006. She was a star student in our Master of Arts in Management program at Doane University. I got to know her really well as her professor, her faculty coach, and her mentor. Then over the years as a friend, and then as a colleague, as I was fortunate enough to be able to hire Helen to teach in our Leadership Capstone program. Anyone who knows Helen knows that her commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion is a passion and a calling, and it's been her life's work for decades. For the last 15 years plus, Helen's administered the IDI, Agricultural Development Inventory, to hundreds of our graduate students at Doane, and has met with them individually to help them interpret their results. Students have repeatedly talked about the powerful impact that their conversation with Helen has had on them. They've written in their reflection assignments that Helen has the ability to see inside them. She challenges them to be curious and open, to reflect deeply, and in the most non-threatening way. She helps them unpack how their life experiences have impacted where they are developmentally in their cultural competence, as well as how they can grow and become more inclusive leaders. Those of you who know Helen know that she is a brilliant educator. Besides her formal teaching roles at UNL, Bryan College of Health Sciences, and Doane University, she taught faculty and staff from 30 countries for several years, gathered at the Qatar Intercultural Communication Institute in Doha. She has guest lectured at Hiroshima University in Japan, and she's given countless presentations, training workshops, and keynote addresses across the country. In Helen's words, she's passionate about helping leaders understand and develop the internal capacity to create equitable and inclusive workplaces, communities, educational institutions, or places of worship. Helen is a tireless advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion locally, nationally, and globally. And over the years, she's received a number of awards and accolades for that work. She was recognized, just to mention a few, as one of 20 under 40 leaders who positively impacted Lincoln in 2002. She was awarded a Key to the City by Lincoln's mayor in 2004. She received Doane University's Alumni Association Exceptional Service Award in 2013. She received an Excellence in Education Award from UNL in 2020, and the Fulfilling the Dream Award at UNL's Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Celebration in 2021. And in recent years, Helen has really impacted increased her impact through her global consulting business. She did a wonderful Lincoln TED Talk that I'm sure some of you have seen in 2012 that has over 92,000 views. And in 2021, she published her book, Becoming Inclusive, A Worthy Pursuit in Leadership, which was endorsed by best-selling local author Mary Piper, who said, "Fagan inspires us to believe that if we all work together, we just might be able to build a better world." In her pursuit of excellence and desire to be a servant leader, Helen has always been mindful of her father's sage advice to be a stellar example who represents her home country of Iran and her family well. She has done that, and I know that he would be incredibly proud of her. Besides all that Helen has accomplished professionally, her family, her husband, Scott, who she refers to often as her favorite human, their sons, Jonathan and Alan, and their wives, and now her sweet grandsons, are the light of her life. She is a beautiful example of someone committed to intentionally creating work-life balance and living her core values. I ended my letter of support by saying that in my 40-plus years working in higher education, I believe that Dr. Helen Fagan is one of the most impactful role models, most gifted teachers and mentors, and advocates for diversity and inclusion that I've ever known. And I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award. Congratulations, Helen. So
Congratulations again, Helen. Our final award today is presented to a Kasner staff member who exemplifies inclusive excellence. It's my pleasure to present. Darrell's nominator wrote this about him. In his short time in Kasner, Darrell has made an indelible mark on every person he has met, whether that was a student, a community leader, faculty, staff, or administrator. Darrell has been able to connect with and support community leaders from all walks of life to understand and participate in the World Fellowship Program. He has brought a level of inclusion and joy to our team that is making students and community members want to participate in the World Fellowship Program. Darrell has worked hard to understand the lens of diversity and inclusion we use to onboard students and community leaders. Darrell's ability to make individuals feel heard, understood, and cared for are just a few of the attributes that make him deserving of the Kasner Staff Inclusive Excellence Award. And if you haven't met Darrell, please take the time to go and see him in his office. He is truly a delight. I'd like to invite Steph Lister to come and say a few remarks.
So a theme that came through not only in the letter that Larkin and I wrote for Darrell's nomination, but in some support letters was the word joy. And I don't know about you, but the first time I met Darrell, I was like, he is so joyful. I mean, he's just a happy guy, and he makes me happy and joyful, and as I'm sure he does all of you. So I was just immediately impressed with how much Darrell has accomplished in such a short time, particularly in the area of diversity and inclusion. He's very, very involved with Manners, which is not even in his job description. He has voluntarily taken on a leadership role in that organization, supporting the students by attending their events. And I wish I could read you little excerpts that we received from several people, but I want to read one from one of our very awesome pre-vet students who met Darrell through Manners, Zinsley. And Zinsley wrote, "In Manners, the members are very diverse. We come from all parts of the U.S. with different backgrounds and experiences. Yet Darrell's amazing support of each member and the club has brought us together, and we can all depend on Darrell." And she also made the comment that it's hard to get into his office as well because there's always students in there. As two Black people on campus, sometimes it can be hard since there aren't as many people who look like us. but I know I can go to Darrell when I feel a little isolated on a predominantly white campus about my concerns, and we can talk it through. He encourages supporting and uplifting the community by bringing people together. One of the things that really impresses me about Darrell is his love of languages. I think that's so awesome. He is learning Arabic, and his goal is to be fluent by the end of the year, I think you told me. Then do you mean the academic year, so like next week?
Right.
Yeah, but Darrell told me that it's really important to him to greet people in their native language, and so he has made an effort to learn some basic phrases like good morning and how are you and have a good day in languages such as Somali, Farsi, and Burmese. And I just think that's so impressive, and I just can't think of a way to make people feel more welcome and included. So, Larkin, I'm going to tell everybody how old we are. So we ended our letter by saying, in our combined 55 years of experience in higher education, we have found Darrell's contributions to diversity and inclusion second to none. We're so glad you're here.
Can we take a selfie?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
There we go,
Well, for those of you that know Dean Stoltenall, Darrell was reminding me everywhere he goes, he takes a selfie and he makes sure that the crowd is in it, right? So congratulations, Darrell. Also, Larkin was up here, and today is Larkin's birthday.
Happy birthday.
I won't say the age, but it's a really special birthday for Larkin today, so congratulations on that. So wow, what an impressive group of award recipients today. Congratulations. I'd like all of the award recipients to stand so that we can recognize you as a collective group. Really evident how much these awards mean to the recipients, and so it's really special, and I'm glad that we could recognize each of your contributions in this way. I know that many of the recipients have family members here, they have colleagues, they have mentors, they have students that are supporting them. Could those individuals stand so that we can recognize you and thank you also?
Family members.
Time to celebrate. There was also an important group that was on stage joining the recipients, and that was the nominators, right? And so the nominators took time to recognize an amazing colleague, a mentor, whether it be an instructor, whether it was a student being recognized. And so that takes time. We're all busy. Thank you for recognizing those individuals for the positive impact that they are having on our college community. So those nominators, let's stand and give you a round of applause. And then finally, this event would not be possible without the support of our donors. And so the donors have provided funding to be able to support these awards. And so I do want to recognize specifically Dr. Darrell Nelson. Many of us know Darrell Nelson. He was our former dean of the Ag Research Division, very passionate about graduate education. I shared with Amanda that Darrell would be very pleased that she was receiving this award today because she possesses many of the attributes that meant so much to him about graduate education. Also want to thank the Holling family as well as the Crow family too. So please join me. We don't have anyone here representing them, but let's give them a round of applause. So I want to make sure that no one is late for a 1 o'clock class. And so this does conclude our program. I wish you all the best as we finish out this semester. And again, thank you to all of you for your unwavering commitment to our Kasner community. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks.